What's going on, everybody? What is my, you know what? Before we get started, man, 200 subscribers. Not bad. Not bad, everybody. Honestly, man, I'm super excited. I'm happy because I didn't think no one was going to want to listen to this old man. And what's funny is maybe y'all don't want to listen to this old man. You just want to smoke me. You know what I mean? You want to smoke the shit out of me. With that being said, I thank you, man. I thank everybody. My daughter yesterday made me some rice cakes. I love it, man. Marshmallow, crispy treats or whatever. And they taste really good. She's pretty talented. So I thank her and I love that little girl. So with that being said, let's get right into it, man. We are going to talk about how I managed to get myself back into some decent shape. I'm not talking about like professional bodybuilder type shape, obviously. Obviously, I'm not on steroids, right? Obviously. But I'm gonna share my experience with you guys, and I'm gonna try my best to simplify it. Okay? First things first. When you guys are starting over, maybe you guys used to train back in the day like me, and you took a 10-year, 15-year, 20-year layoff, and you're overweight, you're out of shape, you're a middle-aged person. When you turn 50, that's it. It's a done deal, right? Not necessarily. You got to take this into consideration. You're going to be hurt, man. You're going to feel like crap in the very beginning. Every part of your body is going to hurt. Every part. Okay? For me, it was my knees and my elbows. I would tell you that on everything that I love, I felt like I had tendonitis. Tendonitis in the elbow, in the wrist, the knees, all of that. I didn't realize it was just inflammation. And inflammation it plagues everybody, especially when you're out of shape. So, how did I get rid of the inflammation? First things first. I went on a diet. I basically tried every single diet there was. And to fast forward, the only diet that worked was the diet that was conventional. Having just a little bit of everything. And when I say diet, I mean I was in a caloric deficit. 500 calories every single day. That was the amount of calories that I consumed. Well, let me rephrase that. That was the amount of calories that I removed from my daily caloric maintenance. So if my caloric maintenance, let's just say, was 2,100 at the time, then I was only having 1,600 calories. Now, I'll explain this as well, and I'm sure maybe some of you understand this already, but for those who don't, if you don't want to be in a caloric deficit and you want to continue eating, let's just say 2,100 calories, 3,000 calories, whatever it is, whatever's your maintenance, then just move more. Do more cardio. Or you can split it in half. You can do more cardio, right? A little bit of cardio and maybe a slight deficit, 250 calories. You'll remove from your daily caloric intake. And that's it. It's that simple. It's a medium-sized cup of coffee at Starbucks. That's how simple it is. You take maybe 7,000 steps a day. Look at your iWatch. You see how many calories you burn. If you burn 250 calories for that day, plus the 250 deficit that you're going to put yourself in with food, that's 500 calories a day. That's what I did. In a nutshell, okay? Without getting into specifics. So the first thing I did also, which was pretty funny, when I first started, I took a photo of myself without any clothes on, front and back. And it was at that moment where I was like, what the hell is going on here, man? Yo. I never knew a man's ass can sag. I never knew it. But I had a saggy ass, man. Yo. I had a saggy ass. I had rolls on my lower back. My shit just looked like it was just something special, man. I'm telling you. If I was married to myself, I wouldn't want to be in the same bed with myself as well. I don't know. Pretty terrible, man. Yo, I'm just having these flashbacks right now as to what I saw. Let me tell you something. If I didn't have, all jokes aside, if my hard drives weren't corrupted and I lost all my images a few weeks ago, I would have posted them so you can see them. I'd have just blurred out the privates, but that's how bad it was, man. Okay, so anyhow, you got to do that, man. You got to do that because you got to evaluate yourself. How much weight have you gained to the point where you're looking like what you're looking like? And you obviously you can't see what you look like from behind. So when you take that picture, you're like, what the fuck just happened? What happened to me? Where did this shit come from? How is it that I look like I'm 75 years old and I'm only 47 at the time? Terrible. So you got to do that. And here's what I did. I took the 2 shots. I roasted myself, felt bad, felt depressed. And then I got over it. And I said, it's time to get to work. You have to focus, or I'm not going to say you personally, but what I'm going to say is this. What I did was I focused on the body parts that I lacked the most. So for me, it was my lower extremities. My legs got thin. Mind you, I used to have jacked legs, man. Jacked, okay? And I lost all the freaking muscle that anyone can never wish for. It was gone. Ass was terrible. Like I said, saggy ass. Saggy ass. Fat back looking like a damn square. Like no hamstrings, no butt muscles. The total opposite of what a football player looks like. Yeah. So I targeted the legs and I targeted my quads 3 days a week. I had to. 3 days a week. Now, I didn't do full, leg workouts every other day. No, I didn't do that. That's ridiculous. You'll get burnt out and you'll wind up not seeing any damn gains. What I did was I separated my quads from my hamstrings, from my glutes. And I was very, very methodical and very specific to the exercises that I was doing every other day. Every other day I was doing legs. I separated my hamstrings from my quads. So one day was more squatting, more 90-degree squatting, leg extensions, and Bulgarian squats. One day I would rest, I would target my shoulders. The third day I would go ahead and I would do my hamstrings and glutes. So that would look like seated leg curls, stiff-legged deadlifts, conventional deadlifts, and that would be it. The fifth day I would do shoulders again, and I'll explain that. I'll explain the reasons why in a second, but I would do shoulders again following after. And then the sixth day I would do a complete leg workout. But that leg workout would be light. I wouldn't go heavy. I was just chasing the pump, trying to focus on correct form, really targeting the mind-muscle connection with what I was doing with the exercise. I was probably getting around, I would say, 24 sets for the entire week for my legs. I noticed a significant change in the development for my hamstrings, my quads. They got pretty lean, pretty muscular. The problem was, the reason why I didn't grow a lot. Number one, I wasn't on steroids. Number two, Psalms, anything like that. I decided to just go straight natural and just see where I would go. I was focusing more on my sleep, focusing more on my diet, trying to be consistent with protein and meals, and that was difficult. But the problem was, it wasn't the training, wasn't the sleeping, wasn't the meals. It was the calorie deficit in the very beginning because I was on keto. Then I started to fast. I was implementing keto and fasting at the same time, and I wound up losing way too much weight. Too much weight too quickly. The result was I lost a lot of muscle, lost a lot of strength. I got down to 147 pounds. That was the lightest that I got. Pretty lean, okay? Pretty freaking lean, but massively weak. Lost a lot of strength. There were times in the very beginning, year one, in the very beginning, when I was only squatting 45-pound bar with 15 on each side. That would be it. Leg extensions, 45 pounds. That would be it. Leg curls, my hamstrings were so weak, I was only doing 25 pounds for hamstrings. Now, mind you, I was really trying to focus on proper form, full range of motion, no half rep bullshit. I wasn't doing 12, 10, 8, 6 reps. I was doing more than 15 reps, 5 seconds per rep. I was trying to keep my time under tension minimum 45 seconds. And that includes when you're doing squats, deadlifts, Bulgarian squats, when you're allowing yourself minimum 45 seconds to perform each set. Let me tell you something, man, that is extremely difficult. So I wind up building up the strength and the endurance, the muscle endurance over the years. And if I can change one thing, would be the diet. I would never get on keto. I would never ever do low carb at all unless I'm dieting. And and even then, I probably would just increase my cardio. And I would never fast. I would just never do that. Okay, to the point where, you know, if you're fasting for 48 hours, absolutely not. Biggest mistake I ever made. So I wound up getting myself. I went from 147 to 150. At 150, I felt good. I was still pretty lean, but I wasn't strong. I was still sort of weak. At this point, year 3, I'm up to about 225 for only like 4 reps. It wasn't enough, okay? So I needed to be at around 225 on the squat for 15 reps. The only way I got there was by gaining another 6 more pounds. I went from 154 to 160, which is my current weight right now. And right now, those 6 pounds made the world of difference because I can squat 225 for 15 reps. So you got to take the good with the bad. The heavier you get, the stronger you'll get, but the less lean you're going to be. What does that mean for average folks? It means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, because at the end of the day, man, if you live in the East Coast the way I do, you got summer for about 2.5 months, okay? For the remaining 10 and a half, 9.5 months, you're gonna be with long sleeves, jackets, right? Would you rather be strong, feeling great, sleeping good, right? Versus not sleeping well, waking up every 3 hours to use the bathroom, feeling weak, right? But you look good. You're lean. I don't know. For me, I'm going to choose 160 pounds every day, all day. I throw on a suit, a button-up shirt, some pants. My quads look good. Ass is looking great. You know what I mean? Shoulders, everything looks great, man. I look fantastic when it comes to me being in a suit, clothes, shirts. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking to look like these influencers that you see on Instagram. That shit is all a facade. I'm telling you, it is all a facade. You don't even see these people on the beach. You gotta be in Miami or Tampa, LA or some shit for you to see these people. And even then you won't see them as much. Why? Because they're too busy in the gym. They're too busy making content. You're not gonna see these people. Meanwhile, they'll tell you how easy it is. All you gotta do is just eat fruit. That's bullshit. All you gotta do is just get on a soup diet. That shit is bullshit. Or they'll make the most extreme, outlandish claims when it comes to gaining muscle and losing weight. Meanwhile, these people are all on steroids. Trenbolone, clenbuterol, testosterone, growth hormone. These dudes are all on that. Lying to you. Pretending to be natty. So at the end of the day, what matters? What matters is, how do you feel? Do you feel good? Are you sleeping good? Is your dick getting hard? Are you strong in the bed? Now when your girl looks at you, does she see some sort of a football player type body? She don't see scrawny legs anymore. She doesn't see the saggy ass anymore. You heard? She's not feeling any of that. That's what works for me. Okay? A conventional diet is always gonna win. I do prioritize protein. I do weigh my shit every day. Why? Because I can't go above 2,100 calories. So if I decide to cheat one meal or two meals, I need to make sure that I'm coming in at 2,100 calories, or else I'm gonna gain more fat. Okay? I think I'm gonna leave it here, man. Honestly, I don't think there's nothing else to say. I did a video as to how prisoners and inmates look better than us, and it's because of their consistency. It's that routine every single day, eating at the same time, training at the same time, sleeping at the same time. That's why they look the way they look. For us folks outside in the free world where we're working and we have children and we got to pick them up, they get sick, blah, blah, blah. We can't make the gym. These are the things that prevent us from looking the way we should look. But you try your best, man. Try your best. You don't have to be perfect. And not every day you're going to eat clean every single day. It's never going to happen. But you try your best. That's it. If one day you eat too much, maybe the next day you wake up, you're not as hungry, you won't eat as much. And it all balances out. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about balance. Honestly, I love the way I look at 147 pounds. I loved it. I wish I can be a little bigger and still look like that. And that's why I decided to gain 13 more pounds. Why? Because I feel like if I can maintain at 160, utilize the strength that I've gained to put on a little bit more muscle tissue, 2 or 3 more pounds of muscle tissue. Next year, when I decide to diet down, maybe at 152, 153, I'm just as lean, looking a bit bigger. That's the goal. Okay? At the end of the day, it's about longevity, feeling good, being able to walk up the stairs without your knee buckling, right? Oh, and last but not least, inflammation. All my inflammation went away when I stopped eating carbs and I lost a lot of weight. When I started minimizing my carb intake and I lost all that weight, 40 pounds, my inflammation went away. And to this day, I have no pain whatsoever in my elbows, no pain in my wrists, knees, nothing. I was a hot mess when I was 200 pounds, man. I can imagine some of you who are even heavier. So I hope you found this video a bit more helpful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna show you the glitz and the glams and just give you unrealistic shit. I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm gonna try to keep it as real as possible. And yeah, With that being said, if you have any comments, anything that was a bit unclear or whatever, just leave it in the comments. I'll make another video. All right. Until then, I got to go train. That's why I got the cap on and my shirt on. I'm ready to get busy. I'll see you on the next one.